All right, squad. Today we are hitting on like building your calendar and tracking numbers. I'm going to spend some time on schedule. All right. And schedule is not like, hey, has to be your schedule. But I just want to give you some perspective on the freedom that you have. Okay. So, and this if this is full time for you, okay, if this is full time, I believe that you should have intentional hours that you're working, but I do believe that you should be working every day. Okay. Remember, I said this. I said this doesn't have to be your. This is learning curve. How fast do you want to get through it? How fast do you want to get through it? How fast do you want to start turning a profit? How fast do you want to start living the life that you dream? How fast do you want that to happen? So I wanted it to happen fast. Okay. So I work every day. Now, people think, damn, that's a lot. This office that I'm at right now is at my house. You know how far I had to walk to get here? It's not that deep. Now, I chose to work 7 days a week when I was driving in my little Honda and going to folks' houses, let alone from here. So you got to come because momentum is everything. And a day off when you don't have the skill, not good. Not good. Okay. This is all recommendation. All right. Now, you're like, I'm working 7 days a week. When am I have time to have a life? I said intentional hours that you're working. Intentional. Every Sunday of last year, I worked, but I was done by 11 a.m. Every Sunday I worked, but I was done by 11 a.m. and I had the rest of the day to do my thing. I couldn't afford to take the whole day off. My momentum was too much. And I wasn't a new agent. I didn't need the money, but it was like I had a goal that I wanted to hit. And everybody on here, hopefully you have a goal you want to hit. And if it ain't monetary, it may just maybe a feeling, a place you want to get to. So the place you can get there, you can get there faster by working every day. All right. Now, the gaps, like I think you should work in 4 hour increments, minimum 8 hours a day. Okay. And on that day, like I said, on Sunday, dude, I was already over 50, 60 hours for the week. If I worked a 4 or 5 hour day, then who cares? All right. But I want to get the bulk during the week. I want to make sure Monday through Friday, I am working, and even Saturday is if I'm West Coast, right? I would start at 7 a.m. All right. I started at 6 a.m. for a little bit, but it was messing up my gym time and I was waking up too early. I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to just go to the gym a little bit later and I'm going to start at 7. Start at 7 a.m. on the West Coast. If you're on the East Coast, I'm sorry, you have to start at 7:30, 8. 7:30 earliest. I wouldn't call nobody at 7 a.m. local time. 7:30 I would. 8 o'clock is good. Okay? If you got some, you know what I mean? If 7:30 made your hair stand up, just call it 8. Okay? But from 8 until 4, I'm locked in. Let's take a break for an hour, go get some lunch, even 2 hours. I don't give a damn. Take some time. Even 3. You know what I mean? Like, I don't give a damn. Like, 8 to 12, bear it down. Now I'm at least 160 to 200 calls. I get back on the phone at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'm going from 6 to 7 minimally. I hit my goal, I pack it up. I don't hit my goal, well, now I see what time zones I can play with to maybe stretch it hour 9, 10, 11. 8 hours is if I hit my goal. I need to work 9, 10, 11 if I don't. And if I get to 9, 10, 11 and I don't, you know who's going to get rewarded tomorrow? You, you will get rewarded for it. Like what Zach was talking about, working your schedule as a job, not as a You know, hey, I made more than I made in a week than I did in my job over a month, so I'm not going to work as hard these next 3 weeks. That won't work. Okay, so this schedule has to be consistent, and in your bank account, I promise you, will tell you when you can. I wouldn't even say do less. You're just going to get better, which is going to turn into you doing less. Okay, that's what's going to happen. You're going to end up getting better, and you're going to be like, damn, what took me 10 presentations to do now only takes me 6. What used to take me 6 presentations to do now only takes me 4. Sean used to go out and write $10,000 a week with 20 appointments booked. I used to have to book 40. He was better than me. You have to look at some of these folks that you see, Rami, you know what I mean? You see some of these folks, dude, you're like wondering, well, I'm working just like them. Well, that's disrespectful. That's like getting in the league with Kobe and going, I practice just as much as Kobe, but I don't know why he's better than me. I'm like, y'all got to understand that you got to work harder than the people who you see killing it. You know that, right? Is anybody confused by that? You have to be better than them. You have to work harder. They got more skill than you right now. So there's no way you can expect their result with the same effort. You got to give twice as much effort to get their result. Because we can sit here and talk about why schedule thing or what the schedule should be, but if you don't know why, and you don't know what goes into the work that goes into making that efficient schedule, then you'll duplicate the wrong thing and you won't get a result. You'll be like, I'm doing exactly what they're doing. Why am I not winning? Dude, they got 10 years and freaking 50,000 presentations on you. You didn't think about that? But sometimes we're just so locked in on what's not going right, we don't think about why. Make sense? So with this schedule, this 7 days a week thing, you may be like, hey, it's not forever. It's not forever. And if it does turn into forever, it will be the best forever you like. Because last year it was 7 days a week. It didn't hurt me at all. I was at every kid's baseball game. I even got better at golf last year. You're like, how'd you get better at golf? And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, when you're crazy intentional with your time, you can do whatever you want. And by the way, my wife's a behavior analyst. She goes, Dom, you do the things that you want. And you will get it done. If you want it done, you will get it done. If you don't want it done, that shit won't happen. Damn, right. And we was talking about some relationship stuff, and I was like, damn, you're so right. I started replaying things in my mind of like, yeah, dude, when I want that, I just do it. I just, you know what I mean? But if I don't, I'm just showing no interest and put it to the wayside. So 4-hour blocks, take a little break, make sure you're getting that in. All right. Saturday, Sunday. And basically, I'm saying 7 days. Take it. If you're like, man, I'll take it. Cool. Pick a Saturday or Sunday. You got to pick one. Pick one. If you're taking 2 days off during the weekend, pack it up. Pack it up. Pack it up. It's too much. It's like this too much. You're in an entrepreneur space living a 9-to-5 life. What are you doing? What are we doing? You know what I mean? You got to retrain yourself. That 9 don't mean I started working. 5 don't mean I'm off. And the weekends don't mean shit, but it's another day that people are off of work and that can buy stuff and pick up the phone. Make sense? You got to see the positives in the weekend, not, oh, my son got soccer practice. This is just our family day. Well, you're going to have a ton of family days because you ain't going to make no money. You're going to have all the family days. You got to pick a weekend. Do both, you'll get it done faster. 70% of my production was done over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday was actually when I got excited to sell insurance, FYI. I sold insurance Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday because, hey, that's what I do for a living. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was the most excited to sell. Excited. Who wants to be excited to go sell? Y'all over here running into Monday, fucking with the Mondays trying to go sell some shit. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Get excited on Friday. You want to know why Friday's good? When do people get paid?
Friday,
Friday.
Friday. When do people drink typically?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Woo! Those are great days to get people opened up on the phone, right?
The best.
So what you got to do is not drink. Don't be like them. And them is the people that we're helping. See, America is built on capitalism. Weekends, this 9 to 5, all this stuff is created so that you become an average citizen. A Monday Labor Day sale, July 4th sales, that's for broke people. Black Friday. You think people like they don't give a damn about stuff like that? And it's not a, I got the money, it's like the opportunity. In sales, this is the most captive audience you're going to have. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They are the most stable, they are the most attentive, and nobody else is calling them. Telemarketers are off of work Friday at 4. I think they get off early on Fridays. And I got to sell you on all this. Otherwise, your learning curve is going to get smoked. And your lead expense is going to go up and your income is going to go nowhere. And then you're going to be off of the Zoom going, damn, FFL, it just didn't work. But I promise you, if you take the weekend and you are intentional during the week, there ain't no way in hell. There's no way. You'll get so lucky on the weekends. I have the most luck on the weekends too. You know what I mean? Like people you don't get in touch all week. All week you don't get a hold of them. Sunday. Yeah, I just work all week. Sunday's my only off day. You know how many times I hear that? Our job is to not be like everybody else. That's our job. You know, when everybody's taking off, we work. Could you imagine if on Labor Day or something like that, firefighters were like, "Nah, I won't take the day off, bro. I'm good. It's the weekend. The weekend. There's no fires on Sunday. Good. We'll just wait till Monday to get back on the truck." If you don't see yourself as a first responder, rethink what you're doing. Somebody just said, "Dom's crazy. Really? He thinks we're as important as firefighters and officers." I do. I do. We're really important. So don't sit yourself on the bench when you could be playing. All right. Questions, comments about any of that? Days, how to take off, all that. Now I want to get into some tracking numbers. Or Bryce, if you have any feedback about that, dude, I know that you came from a 9 to 5. I'm speaking from somebody who's never had a job too, by the way, just so y'all know. Okay. My whole life was baseball and sports, and I never took a day off in sports. It was never like Saturday, I'm just not going to think about baseball. I'm going to unplug. I never did that. So it never made sense to me. If this is what I did, why would I ever stop? Like, this is what I do. So Bryce, coming from a 9 to 5 though, how did you retrain yourself to do this? And what are some pitfalls that you probably ran into that can help others?
Yeah, I mean it's really comes down to what I put in the chat, that I had to view working as a get to mindset. I had to have I get to work versus a have to work type thing, right? And so coming from a 9 to 5, it's these hours are set, come in the office at this time, go home at this time. I worked with businesses, so I literally couldn't work weekends. And then when it really hit me was like over the holidays where we were selling like the day before. Some people even sold the day of Christmas, like the day after Christmas. And like at my previous job, because I worked with businesses, a lot of businesses were shut down at that time. And I didn't even realize it at the time, but when I started this, I was like, I have the ability to, I get to continue to create income for my family at a time where I literally couldn't before. So I didn't even realize that that was like a ceiling that was being placed on me. So really when the holidays hit is when it really opened up my eyes to like the opportunity that I had in my hands because there is literally nothing stopping me from getting to where I want to go. Like it's 100% on me, which can be a scary thing, but once I view that as like I viewed it from a place of gratitude and a beautiful thing, that's when things really started to take off for me, right? So it's really more of an appreciation and a gratitude of like, I am doing something where I get to continue to create income for my family on weekends, on evenings. Like the only limit that is literally placed on you is the time zone of the person you're calling in between 7:30 and 9 p.m. of that time zone. But because we have multiple states, that is expanded so incredibly. You know what I mean? So I think that's really what it came down to for me is just viewing it from a place of gratitude and appreciation of what I have in my hands. And that's when I was like, all right, now it's up to me to like fully take advantage of that. And the other thing that I realized is this is I also realized that working more because, 9 to 5, I was working hard within those hours, but I was never working any more than that. Like I had a lot of time off, stuff like that. So working more, what I realized for myself, built confidence and reduced anxiety. So like what I realized is when I was working and I was intentional about like continuing to build my business, I wasn't thinking about my problems. I wasn't worrying. And a lot of times like when like anxiety comes from a place of like a stagnant, place, right? When we're not doing anything. So that's why like exercising is so important, right? Like you're moving your body, you don't have the ability to like sit there and think about your problems. So built like having a set schedule and just like kind of having something that I know I'm going to show up to no matter what, it built confidence that I can make this happen. You know what I mean? I have something to show up to. And then I didn't have time to sit around and be worry about my problems, worry about whether leads are going to pick up. Like I just focused on the work. And so I like I never like everybody's different. I never like struggled per like what do you want like medically, if you want to call it, with like anxiety and depression. But looking back on how I was prior to this, I probably if I would have talked to somebody, I probably could have got diagnosed with some stuff. You know what I mean? And then I started this business and I started working more. And a lot of my problems and like stuff that I dealt with internally went away because I just had something to like put that to. So like it's been so huge for me just growing as a human just with the ability to work more. So I'm like it's again coming back to a place of gratitude and appreciation of like the ability to work as much as I want has helped me a ton and allowed me to not just kind of sit around and worry about stuff.
I got a quick question before you guys move on, if it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's say you just starting off. Let's say you got about $500 for maybe 25 leads. I know it doesn't take 40 hours to get through 25 leads. What are you doing in the meantime if you don't have that volume of leads to be able to go through and get those hours? Or you just wait and kind of build up, or how do you guys do it?
So did you already buy the lead, Lloyd?
I actually do my own marketing, so
Okay.
I got a background in doing that. So I haven't bought them yet, no, because I'm just still trying to get through this training. But yeah, this is only
Okay.
my second day, so yeah.
All right. So what I'd recommend is 2025 leads is just not enough to get going. Okay. So you should invest in some age leads. All right. And get yourself like 60 to 70 of those as well on top of what you have. All right. And that's going to give you enough leads to be rocking. All right. But even with like, I could take 2025 leads and work for about 4 hours for sure.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
hard too,
yeah.
you
I mean, I
know?
really don't know what
But
it's going to look like once I press the button on my lead funnel. But
yeah.
yeah, I was just that's what I was thinking and might render, but could be
Okay.
more or less. Yeah,
How much is it per lead? Or you don't even know that yet, huh?
I'm thinking about I'm thinking about like $15 per lead, something like that.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good spot. The general
yeah.
final expense.
Yeah, I just want to start off with final expense and work my way up, to something different. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, here's I want to give you this concept here. Because sales, we're talking about schedule and building a calendar, but what's going to happen is life is going to happen. Okay. And you got to decide what type of person that you are. Every one of us is one of these three types of people. Okay. The first one is, you know what? If it if it's cold outside, they're sad, or if it's hot outside, they're happy. Like they kind of just go with the flow. Okay, they kind of go with the flow. They could be positive some days, they could be negative some days. Okay. Then there's people who, no matter what happens, they're going to find a reason why they can't. Okay, there's always something wrong. There's just always something wrong. It's just negative, negative, negative. Or you got the people who it doesn't matter at all. If it's hot, cold, sunny weather, it's always a great day. Okay, you have people in your life like this. You ask them how they're doing. Sometimes they're doing good. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you got people in your life that every time you talk to them, they're always negative as Nancy. And you got that one or a few people in your life that always keeps it so positive and moving forward all the time. There's one or three people in the world. You got to choose which one you're going to. The choice. You got to be the one that, if you're contracting, doesn't go through as fast as you want it to or you thought it was. Dude, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be on the phone calling leads. If your lead batch that you buy, you know what I mean, the first 5 leads, oh man, they got disconnected numbers. Hey, who cares? I'm in the bottom third, or the top third, however you want to look at it. I'm in the third that it doesn't matter what's going on. I'm okay. You guys know people like that in your life? All three types. Can you guys put a 1 in the chat if you know all three of those people? And everybody made a choice to be that, whether it was intentionally or just subconsciously. But when you bring it to the forefront, we all have a decision to make. When that came to me, I had to decide which one I wanted to be. Be clear. All of us right now, not even just all of us are one of them. We all are a little bit of those three at points in our lives, until it comes to the forefront and you go, okay, I'm going to make a decision on who I'm going to be. So now I know that sometimes I could be wishy-washy sometimes, or used to be more wishy-washy. So I recognized that and said, all right, cool. I got to be more of that top 30 and get rid of this wishy-washy that I got. You may be more does that make sense? Figure out where you are and where you need to work at with those decision makings and what type of things are going to affect you. Are you the one that when the wind blows, you're like, oh shit, makes sense? It's like, dude, everywhere the wind blows, you got issue. Like, dude, just let it blow. It could be a hurricane outside. Sean Mike, you don't give a damn. Like what I was telling that joke on Friday about us being we were on this little ass jet. It was legit about to crash. And this fool goes, you guys know you guys are overreacting. We're going to be okay. And I'm going to be you're sitting with the lone survivor. I was like, this fool's lightweight crazy right now. Are you kidding me? And then we landed. All my worry and concern and Andrew's worry and concern was all for nothing. He got off the plane, was making another phone call, helping us build our company. Make sense? I saw these examples from people and I go, holy smokes. Sean Mike started Family First Life the day his divorce was finalized. Some of y'all can't pick up the leads if your daughter has a cold. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down right now? That schedule and what you build your calendar on is non-negotiable. And your calendar ain't got room for feelings. Your calendar ain't got room for, oh, it's cold outside today. You know what I'm saying? But this is what it takes to be a good boss of yourself. Everybody who's had a good boss, they did all this for us, with us. They set up structures so that we had accountability to do these things. Only bad thing, I'm not your boss. You're your boss. So a lot of our training about, Connor is like, really, shoot, how to just be an entrepreneur. I was talking to Kachina. She's been working at home for 17 years. Typically, my conversation with people is how to work from home. I'm like, you got that on lock. Let's just talk about how to sell insurance. Make sense? Because a lot of you, the talk is, dude, are you really working? How many calls are you making? How many times you started doing the dishes today? You probably do the dishes now, huh? You didn't never do the dishes before. Now you're doing dishes. Now you're mowing the lawn. You're doing laundry now. What the hell's gotten into you, Lloyd? You're doing way more stuff than you ever used to do. But we got to be the boss that stops us from doing laundry. That stops us. Zach's house probably cleaner than it's ever been since he's been doing this. You know, no, but Zach got a clean house anyway. He stay clean. But like me, my house is cleaner than it's like, you know what I mean? But it's just like when things like that around you start changing, you got to recognize, why is this happening? So, dude, that's really all I got. Questions, comments about anything? We get some feedback, but that was my notes today, brother.
I think that, the next step, the takeaway from this for everybody is, if you haven't yet, build out a calendar, and like literally find the times that you have non-negotiable commitments in your life, and then work around that, build in these training calls. But there was a time when I went about this business willy-nilly and just kind of showed up here and there. And there was a time when I was like, no, this is the time I'm starting, and this is the time that I'm dialing to. I'm flexible to move past that, but like this is the time I start, and this is the time I'm dialing to, like non-negotiable. And there's a massive difference in my results when I actually had that set in stone. So it's a very simple one, and maybe seems super obvious, but again, it's like, if we don't actually have it written down, there's just a good chance that it's not going to happen. And it's hard to be a good boss of yourself if we don't have it laid out. You know what I mean? And like the one of the best things that I feel like I ever did for myself was, treat this as if it was a job, in the sense that I made it so like nobody had to tell me, but I'm like, if I don't show up to this, I'm getting fired. Like I viewed it that way. That's how I tricked myself to showing up at 8 a.m. on live Zoom dials every day, no matter what. So the beauty of this business is the freedom that we have, but it could also be the most dangerous thing if you allow it. You know what I mean? So I decided, you know what? Non-negotiable. This time I'm starting. These are the days I'm working. These are my hours. Just same thing as if it was a job. And like Tom said, you got to be a boss of yourself. So if your boss gave you a schedule, do that for yourself. And if you need help, we can help build it out with you. You know what I mean? And if you go on the agent handbook, we have like a template of a schedule built out. If you're like, you know what, I want to follow what you recommend, go to page, was it like 28, 38 of the handbook, and follow that. But take this, if you don't have one yet, after this call, build out a set and committed schedule. It's going to be massively important.
Good stuff today, y'all. Thanks for the feedback. And hopefully this helps. And let's keep building on this. Tomorrow we'll won't be here, but we'll be in live dials, and Thursday we'll be back on. Then we'll have a guest on Friday. All right. So appreciate all the help, support, and if you guys need anything, give me a shout. Kachina, I got some